Hi, my name is Ibrahim Abdel Rehim, Account Director at Thomson Reuters. I'm here joined today by Kyle Snowdon, Vice President at Tyler Technologies. The first question I have for you, what's the role technology is playing now in courts around the globe?
Well, I think probably the most significant technology innovation that we're seeing in courts today around the globe is in the world of online dispute resolution. Moving to a true virtual court, whether it's online through a judge being an adjudicator in an online environment, or use of alternative dispute resolution techniques through mediation and arbitration through an online environment.
Do you see a particular technology that has a significant impact on the court system?
I think if you look around the world, I think both online dispute resolution as well as guided fillable forms has the ability to fundamentally increase access to justice around the world. The ability to be able to guide somebody, the underserved, the unrepresented, which is the majority of the litigants in court cases, to be able to guide them through the court process on their time, on their terms, I think are probably some of the most key technology advances happening around the globe.
Can you tell me more what Tyler Technologies is doing in that space?
Well, we've got a number of different products within the Odyssey platform. Odyssey, at its core, is a case management, document management system that a court will use essentially as its operating system for how a traditional court operates, so managing all the data and the documents. But then around that core, we use stuff like the Modria online dispute resolution platform. We use electronic filing for your professional filers, your lawyers, to be able to file into the court. And then we use a product called Guide and File, which guides people, self-represented litigants, guides them through the court process, through an interview-style process to help them complete the forms that they oftentimes have no idea what forms they need to complete, what's happening with my court case. And by putting that in plain language for them, we can not only help them complete the forms, but help them complete the process.
What challenges can you see in the adoption of technology globally and specifically for this region?
Well, courts have never been one to change quickly. I think out of all of government, courts is a precedent-based organization. They always look back. So I think just change on any sort of major scale is tough. Organizational change. Courts may be a little bit tougher because so much of it is written in law. So much of what they do is written in law. The idea of an electronic signature, for example, or an electronic document may require the law to actually change for the courts to be able to take advantage of some of that technology. Some of the technology that we take advantage of in the private sector on a day-to-day basis, if I'm buying a house or something along those lines, everything is electronic. I sign it electronically, I move forward electronically. Many courts don't have the laws or the rules in place to be able to enable that to happen. I think maybe more regionally, I think they're struggling probably with some of those same challenges. But I don't think you can underestimate what specifically the Dubai courts. I think Dubai and Singapore courts are also kind of leading the nation, leading the world in terms of the adoption of some technology, and really kind of beginning to push the envelope. As a bit of a commercial and financial center here in Dubai, they've had to implement judicial processes and systems around multinational disputes, commercial courts, stuff that other countries may not have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So they've really led the charge, I guess, when it comes to stuff like artificial intelligence, the use of technology, because they've been largely building these courts from the ground up. These courts didn't exist in a physical environment or a virtual environment, 10 years ago. So they've built these systems from the ground up. They didn't have some of the change pressure of taking it from a physical to an electronic environment, which has helped them move more quickly.
How do you see the judicial system 5 to 10 years from now?
Well, I think we're going to continue to see the advancement of technology just within the judicial system. I think we're going to see less need for people to show up at the court. Specifically on very simple cases. I get pulled over for a traffic ticket and I want to fight it. I'm not going to have to go to the court. Small claims cases, landlord-tenant cases, those high-volume cases, I would be very disappointed if in 10 years from now that you still had to show up to court to defend yourself or to be able to move that particular case forward. The technology's there today. That's a long enough runway for courts to be able to move that forward. And I think we're going to start to see the judiciary, the judges themselves, begin to demand more technology. Historically, some judges had been a little bit more technology adverse. Now we're seeing judges that are coming to the bench that grew up with technology. They demanded it. They had it in law school. They had it in their practices. Oftentimes they're more shocked when they get to the bench nowadays and they see how little technology that a lot of courts have. So I think you're going to start to see that demand from the judges as opposed to maybe some of the pushback that you saw 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.